Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Loretta. In this video I want to talk about ways to simplify your life if you are feeling overwhelmed or you feel like you have way too much on your plate, and hopefully you can find some value in this video. And if you do, please give it a like, as it really helps my channel and it's greatly appreciated. Let's get started. So I've made a list of 17 things that I do in my life to simplify. The title of this video is 15 things, but the algorithm likes those kinds of numbers, so that's the number that I chose. But there are 17 things on this list, and they're really not in any particular order, but I'm just going to go through them. I was going to put them in an order that kind of made sense, and then I thought I'm just going to make the list and make the video. So here we are, and let's get started with number 1, which is to turn off notifications. And what I mean is when your phone goes bing or ding or whatever sound that it makes when you get a notification from TikTok or Instagram or your email, or well, text, obviously there's always notifications. That's how you know you got a text. But besides that, I find that the notifications were just really, I always felt like I had to look at my phone when it would ding, and it's usually nothing. Well, first of all, I quit social media. That is later on in this list, and we'll talk about that, besides YouTube, obviously. But those little notifications are just completely unnecessary. I find they really do clutter up your mind and your time, and always having to look at your phone when you're in the middle of something. And if it doesn't need immediate attention, then it's just going to add more brain clutter and more things to think about. The constant stimuli, in my opinion, is not really necessary for your life, and it can actually be very mentally and emotionally draining to have too much stimuli. So consider what notifications you really need to have on your phone. For instance, I have a friend who lives on the other side of the world, so we communicate through WhatsApp. So I have notifications set for WhatsApp because when she contacts me, then I know that she has contacted me, rather than just having to go into the app and look, or else I will miss her message. So just figure out what's really, really important to your life, what you actually need to be notified for. Most of the time it's not social media. You don't need to know that your friend, just had this amazing Reuben sandwich for lunch, or that their dog did the cutest thing ever. So just think about what you need and don't need, and decide from there what you would like to get rid of as far as your notifications. Number 2, make those difficult phone calls or have those difficult conversations. For me, I find it has to do with work. If I have to have a difficult conversation, I don't necessarily know why. It's hard for me to speak up and say what I need to say. If you've seen any of my other videos, I've mentioned a few times that I am a recovering people pleaser. I'm definitely still, I'm not perfect. I am working on it, but I have come a long way. And I always find sometimes having difficult conversations, and not just at work, it can be with friends or family, or just anywhere, any sort of confrontation, which doesn't necessarily mean that a confrontation is a negative thing. I think people associate confrontation with negativity when really you're just addressing something. So it doesn't have to be that negative thing. So if you have to have a difficult conversation, instead of constantly just thinking about it and going over your head what you want to say or how it might go, just do it. Just have the conversation, and once it's over, it's out of your head and it's done. It might not go well or go as you had planned, but it's over with. And sometimes just getting things over with is very peaceful. A lot of contentment comes with getting things out of the way that are a little bit difficult. And it's the same with phone calls. I had to call my insurance company the other day. I was put on hold for almost an hour, and they have that option where you can leave your phone number and then they call you back, which I have done lots of times, but you're also still just kind of waiting in anticipation for that call, to get that call over with. So I was putting it off, and then finally I just did it, and now it's done and things have been resolved and I feel much better. So just get those things out of the way as fast as possible. Have the difficult conversations, make the difficult phone call, and it will simplify your life. Number 3 is to cook at home. Eating simply has been one of the best things that I have done for myself. One of the best changes that I have made was quitting eating takeout. And number 1, it is very expensive, as we all know. And there's all kinds of ingredients in there that we're not sure we should even be eating. I'm not saying that I eat perfect. I definitely do not. I probably eat things that are not that good for me, but when I make things, I know exactly what is going into them. It's not that I never eat takeout. I do. It's just so extremely rare, and it's usually when somebody else treats me, because it's not really something that I choose to spend my money on. And I'm not very, very strict about it. I don't worry that something has been cooked in canola oil or has high fructose corn syrup. If I want it, then I just eat it. You don't have to be super strict and beat yourself up if you eat takeout or do something that you think isn't good for you. But cooking at home it really, really is a good way to simplify. Just cook simple food and eat simple food. Number 4, sometimes when we make changes, we think that we need to add more things to our life to make those changes. And sometimes it's just simply subtracting things from your life. So figure out what it could be making your life complicated that you could subtract and take away. For a lot of us, it's our job, but we can't take that away. As much as we would like to eliminate our jobs out of our life, then yes, that would definitely simplify things, but we can't. So within reason, like notifications or toxic people, extra payments on things that you don't really use, like streaming services or other or subscriptions. Just take things out. Don't add things to improve your life. Subtract things, and you will find that things will be a lot simpler in your life and without a lot of clutter, without a lot of brain clutter. You just think about what you can subtract in your life rather than adding more to your list. Number 5 is call your friends. Texting is fine and well, but give a friend a phone call, one that you don't see that often, and chat on the phone. You will feel connected to that person a little bit more. Zoom if you can, that is even better. Or video call, voice call, whatever way that you choose to see somebody face to face without actually seeing them face to face. And it also, once you get on the phone with a friend, you start talking. You could be on the phone for, I've spent hours on the phone with friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and I never feel afterwards like, oh gosh, that was such a waste of time. Like, that 3 hours, I always feel so much better after having a conversation with somebody that I care about. And it's a simple, cheap thing to do. It's a free thing to do pretty much, as long as you have a phone. So consider calling a friend to simplify your life. Number 6, very controversial, delete social media. Yes, I understand that YouTube is social media. I'm actually going to make a video on the social media that I quit, which is Instagram and Facebook. And if you subscribe, then you will see that video when it comes. And if you hit the notification bell, then you will be notified of when I put that video out. I'm just in the works of making some important points that I want to get across for that video. But I will be making a video on my quitting of social media back in January 2024. We are now in August, but it really, really has simplified my life on so many levels. I will go into more detail, like I said, in that video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video, but not having that vice has really, really changed things for me. So if you can do it, if you don't use it as a business tool and you use it for the right reasons, then and it works for you, then great. But I think a lot of the time it doesn't work for people. So consider deleting your social media. Number 7 is to try to control overthinking and ruminating. Now, you really don't want to control all of your thoughts. I don't think that is very healthy, but you are in charge of what you focus on and what you ruminate on. And since I have really, really got in touch with how much I do ruminate and how much I do overthink, it has really helped me to just sort of let my thoughts come and go. And mindfulness and meditation is really, really helpful in this. Consider taking, like going online and then finding some resources there. You may even have some meditation meetups in your area, which would be great if you can do it in person with other people and connect with your community. But if not, there's really, really simple things that you can do. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to get into this too much, but just Google it and try to find ways to not ruminate and overthink. And trust me, it will make a huge difference in simplifying your life. Number 8 is make a list of what's important to you, like really, truly important. And once you make that list, those are the things that you know that you need to focus on. So it could be absolutely anything. Everybody has their own life, their own values, their own path, what's really actually important to me. But make that list and find anything that doesn't really align with that or that you feel like is getting in the way. And if you subtract those things from your life, then you will find that things will become just a little bit simpler. Number 9 is super random, but get rid of your containers that don't have lids. Or get rid of your lids, get rid of your containers. If you have anything that it's mismatched in your kitchen, you don't have lids, or you have the lid and you don't have the bottom part of the container, please get rid of it. You drive yourself nuts trying to find it, or maybe one day it'll show up or it's here. I don't really think that plastic storage containers are worth enough to have a cluttered cupboard. It used to be. I used to keep all my lids separate and then keep all my containers separate. Once I wash them and dry them, I actually just put the lids on the container and store them that way. That way there's always a lid. Yes, it does take up a little bit more space, but it doesn't really take up that much more space. And then you don't have all these random lids just hanging around your kitchen or these random containers. So get rid of your lids, get rid of your containers that you don't have lids for. It will simplify your life. Number 10 on this list, stop watching the news. Now, it is definitely important to be informed of things that are going on in the world, but watching the news is always bad news. So watching news all the time is probably going to make you feel pretty bad, and it doesn't really accomplish much unless there's something that you want to do about it, or something that you want to work on or talk about with somebody else. But generally the news is just a bunch of bad news and it's depressing. Try to eliminate how much negative content you allow into your day, into your mind, into your space, because it can really make you feel bad. So yes, inform yourself and learn about things that interest you, but too much news is not healthy. If you want to simplify, just stop watching news altogether, or really truly eliminate the amount of news that you watch. Number 11, keep a planner or a journal or a calendar or something like that. So I have a couple calendars. I have a main calendar for the home where we put all of the bills, and then I put my work schedule and if I have appointments. And then I also put all of these things into my physical planner. I like to have things written down. It helps my brain to sort through what I need to get done and things that places that I need to go. And I also have a digital calendar in my phone where I have all my bills. I also have my bills written down in my physical planner, but I have my bills, I have appointments, I have social engagements, and everything is color coded. So I know that yellow is a bill, green is an appointment, blue is something else. Blue is birthdays in my calendar. But when I open it up and I see all those colors and I see how the month looks, how the week looks, how the day looks, it really does help my brain to stay organized. Now, if you're a super busy person, if you have a job or 2 jobs or a job and a side hustle and a family, kids, you're already one of the busiest people on earth. I don't actually understand how people juggle a job, a children, and a home. For me, taking care of my home and working a job is already a lot. There's already so much to do. Throw kids into the mix to me is incredible. But keeping a planner or calendar really helps you to organize your thoughts and things that you need to get done. Another thing that I also do is I have a digital master list. So I have work or home, finances, YouTube, things that I want to do in those different categories. And they're not necessarily things that I need to do that week or that day or that month, but things that I need to get done at some point. And having that master list, once I go over it, it really helps my brain to know what I need to get done and what I need to accomplish. So if you feel like your life is not that simple, get a planner. And you don't want to fall into the trap of putting too much in your planner and then getting overwhelmed, because I've been there as well. Just remind yourself that you can only do so much in one day. You're only one person and you're not a superhero. So just make your lists and try to be calm when you're looking at your list, because it can get overwhelming when you look at all the things that you need to get done or want to accomplish. So don't fall into that trap either. Just know that a list is just a list. It doesn't mean that, oh, I have to get all these things done right away. It just helps you to organize yourself for a more simple life. Keep your space neat, tidy, and clean, or organized, decluttered. When I wake up in the morning and I go into my kitchen or my living room and it's clean, tidy, decluttered, it just really helps me to be in a good mindset for the day. When you have clutter around you all the time, you really have to think about what you need to do with that clutter. It's sort of, how do I explain this? So when you look around and you see a messy space, first of all, you think, oh, I got to clean this messy space. And then when you start cleaning it, you think, oh, what am I going to do with this? Do I really need it? And then that just makes you have more decisions to make in that moment. And too many decisions can really not be a very simple thing. It can really lead to a disorganized and complicated life. So declutter your space. It will simplify your life. Number 13 is similar to what I talked about with the planner, is don't try to do it all. And I made this a separate point because trying to do it all is very detrimental to your well-being. I used to be in the mindset where I'd make a list and I would do just a ton of things in the day and get a lot accomplished. But then I wouldn't feel satisfied. It would be time to wind down or to go to sleep. And I think, oh, I could have done this extra thing, or I should have done this and I should have done that. And the truth is, trying to do it all is just going to result in burnout. So I'm bad for that. I'm really, really working on that. And I've gotten much better, definitely. And it has helped simplify my life. I'm not sure if I read this in a book or I saw this on YouTube, but years ago I saw a decluttering expert explain this about your things. If you can replace it for free or for very cheap, and you're humming and hawing about getting rid of it, get rid of it. And I have done that, and I have replaced things, but it hasn't been something that's cost a ton of money. And that makes perfect sense to me. So I kind of go by that rule now. And most of the time when you get rid of something, you don't think, oh, I really could have used that thing that I got rid of. Most of the time, if you're thinking about getting rid of it, then you should probably just get rid of it because you don't really need it. Number 15, waiting for the perfect time. I'll tell you this, and if you take anything from this video, please just take this one point. There will never be a perfect time. Trust me, there is no such thing. Life gets in the way. We all have things to do. If you think, oh, I want to start that thing, but it's not a good time for whatever reason, just start it. If you really, really want to do it, just start it. Like YouTube, for example. If you think that you are too young or too old or too fat or too skinny or whatever negative, damaging thought that goes through your head, none of it, first of all, is not good for you. Don't be hard on yourself and don't criticize yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere. and just start, because truly, truly, there's no perfect time to do anything. And everybody starts from the bottom no matter what they do. If you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you want to take a course or go back to school, do it. Why not? If you have the means and you really, really want to, it's your life. Nobody's going to tell you how to live it, and you don't want anybody to tell you how to live it. You want to do what you want to do for your best interests. So there's no perfect time. Start now. Number 16 may be a little bit cliche, but I truly believe that practicing gratitude really does help simplify. And it could be just the absolute simplest thing that you're grateful for. It could be that you have food in your fridge, a warm bed to sleep in, or a cool bed to sleep in if where you are is incredibly hot, a roof over your head, people that love you. These very, very simple things, not everybody in the world has. And likely you have more than these things. So when you're grateful for these little things, it really truly does put you in a good mindset where you can build on that. So if you have these basic needs met and you want more in your life, then you can build on those things and still be grateful for what you have, even if you feel like you're lacking. So be grateful for what you have and then build on that. And it really does help to simplify. It has helped me simplify my life. So hopefully this little tip will help you simplify your life as well. Number 17, and the last one on this list, is to consume less. And I have said this in many of my other videos. When I say consume less, I mean everything from the news, social media, digital, your phone, food, ruminating thoughts. Try to consume only what you need and only what truly brings joy. Now, I don't want to discredit, when terrible things happen, if something terrible has happened to you in your life, or you're going through a really, really hard time, it's not just that easy to say things like, oh, be grateful, or consume less and you'll be happy. Don't cry. Don't be sad. This toxic positivity is real. Trust me. I know I've been through some hard things. We all go through some hard things. But when you do have good moments in your life, take those moments and cherish them, because you're not always going to have good moments. You're going to go through hard things. You're going to have things that happen to you that you wish were different. And so when I say consume less or be grateful, don't do it in a toxic way. Just every now and then look around and say, things are good right now. Things are good. I'm content. I'm in a good place. And consume less, and then it might just help you to simplify your life. It has definitely helped me. Since I started eating less, since I started consuming less social media and negative thoughts, just to skim the surface. Anyways, that is the end of this list, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps my channel grow and is greatly appreciated. Please consider subscribing if you would like to see more of my content, and we will see you in the next video.